Hello and welcome again to another episode of Talking Out Loud. Good to have you with us, and of course a happy new year and a new decade to each and every one of you that's tuning in. 2020 promises to be a big year for Bankwood Bear, and maybe, just maybe this year, we're looking to hit the big 5-0 in subscriptions. So if you like what you're hearing, if you like what you do hear in the coming episodes, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, iTunes of course, Stitcher, Spotify. You can get us on pretty much any platform now, so do hit that subscribe if you like what you're hearing. And I'm hoping this year should see a few more coming out from Africa, and fingers crossed for a few from Canada as well. So plenty to look out for going forward. Now without further ado, I'll introduce today's pod. And there really is no better way to ring in a new decade than to air an impromptu 3 a.m. chat I had with an excellent talker in events management student and part-time security guard, Esther. Now, given it was recorded in Motion's smoking area, now for those of you who don't know, Motion is a fairly substantial nightclub in Bristol. As a result, the audio is a little raw at times, as is my thinking. But it was a real delight to sit down with Esther, and especially to get her view on the event itself. So we were at a boiler room gig, which is quite handy actually, as Esther had just submitted her dissertation on festival gentrification, and boiler room as an event itself was actually quite a good case study. So she talks us through what her dissertation was about, and also the pitfalls of security guarding big events and planning big events as well. The conversation really did click, so again, thanks again for taking the time. As ever, if you like what you hear, do get in touch. You can get us on all the platforms, but I'll leave it there for now. Happy 2020, and enjoy this one. Play it! So hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Out Loud with me, George Cressy again. Do reach out if you want to do your own Talking Out Loud. You know where to find me. I think I've said that for like literally the 10th time now. So yeah, we are waiting for people to pick me up on that offer. We are outside Motion in Bristol.
Yes, we are.
Boiler room.
Boiler room, indeed.
Do you know much about boiler room? I didn't know anything about it beforehand, so you educate me.
Because it started as obviously a video like recording platform thing.
Yeah,
all these
tables
DJs moving. And all these DJs all around the world, and you can go on YouTube and you can see them all performing, and it's always amazing, and an amazing crowd. But I recently found out the boiler room apparently they act as if they were super broke and they needed people to support them, but in reality it's just some really rich kid that actually funded it with his daddy's money. Yeah, that's why it's fun. And they made themselves look really urban, and they're just not.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, literally look it up. Look up. There's loads of there's media, but things that is suppressed because they're so big that it doesn't affect them at all. Literally no one even knows about it, and it's funny because they try to do a sort of what's that? SBTV. It's like a Londoner. It's like a London sort of it's on YouTube, and they showcase London artists, and it's all very underground, urban, and cool. Right. And they were doing that's where Boiler Room started from, that London urban cool thing. In reality, it wasn't something that started from nothing. It started from a small loan of about £500,000. You know what I mean? Yeah. So interesting. But I got guest list to this, so that's why I'm here. So yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, so what an intro. So first of all,
I talk.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. So just a little intro, I guess. So name, age.
I'm Esther.
What are you doing?
Esther, 21. I study events management at BIM, which is a music uni in Bristol. So yeah, dabble in events. I do security, I do all kinds of stuff. I kind of spread myself a bit thin, but I like to do as much as I can whilst I still can do it. Basically. Yeah,
I'm a similar kind of outlook on life, which can get frustrating, I find.
After a while, because I went to it for a tutorial in university, and they were like, basically what you need to do is stop spreading yourself thin and find one specialty and stick to it.
Yeah.
I was like, but I don't know.
Honestly, I'm still afflicted in a similar way,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't worry about it. So what you got 7 years on me, so essentially all I did between 21, this table's freaking the fuck out.
It's pretty scary.
It's well annoying. But essentially all I did for like 6 years is just travel and just like try and iterate and just iterate. Like, all right, who am I in this situation? Who am I in this situation? Who am I in this situation? And then you slowly build a picture of basically who you are, which is quite nice. And then I'm becoming more confident. I think now I turned 28 on Wednesday. I'm pretty.
Wow! Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you very much.
Wow, nice.
So I think I'm getting to a point now where I'm like, all right, so I'm kind of nearly there. That's what I'd say.
It's Wednesday the 13th. Is that 13th? Oh, it's 15th. So my sister's born on the 13th.
Oh, beautiful. How old's your sister?
23. No, 20, she's going to be 24. She's going to be 24. Yeah.
You're close, son.
Not even remotely. No, we couldn't be further. No, we could be definitely a lot further apart, but like, no, we're
interesting.
We're the complete opposites in literally every way. Apart from we both chat shit. That's the only thing we have in similarity.
You need to
chat shit, and we get that from my mum, and that's about it.
That's awesome. So whereabouts your family from? Like, how long you?
My parents from Nigeria. Like, it's quite an interesting story because my dad was from like way out in the sticks and like proper like tribe, and like literally went to school, fucking worked as a waiter for like years to go to do medicine, and like came to the UK. And my mum was like her dad is like this like hotshot gynecologist that like published papers and shit. So like my dad was like the pauper and my mum was like the princess, and they got together and they divorced pretty much 2 years later or something. I mean, they tried, didn't they? So fair enough.
Beautiful story.
They
2 years is good.
No, 3. It must have been. I mean, maybe 4 years because they had me and my sister, and I'm pretty sure after the birth of me that was it. I mean, don't drag it out.
They got a good egg out. They got a good egg out.
That's true.
Nice. That's nuts. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah. I was out in. Yeah, it's an awesome country. Africa keeps dragging me back. I think next year I'm going back out again.
Nice. Where have you been in Africa?
So Southern Africa. So I did South Africa for a while. I was in Cape Town for a couple of months. Did quite a lot in Malawi now. So I'm really connected to Malawi. I've got a number of podcasts coming out shortly about Malawi, so I did a number out there. So I'm pretty into it.
Nice. Well, it's cool that you say that because there's this because I kind of intern for St. Paul's Carnival, and so like I'm very I take part in a lot of like cultural things to do with that. And at last weekend I went to a play to try and get people on board and volunteer with St. Paul's and St. I went to a play called Barbershop. I don't know if you've seen any posters anywhere. It's at the Bristol Vic, and like it's about literally barbershops, but one barbershop in London, one in like Ghana, one in Nigeria, one in South Africa, and it's basically like black men and the barbers, and they all have these interesting, really like unique and intelligent points to make from different points of view. So it was talking about like Mandela from the point of view of a 40-year-old man, because obviously when all that shit went down, they'd have been in the like late teens.
In a minute, I'm gonna do dance with Flora.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay,
All good? Feel free if you want to join the podcast. We're doing a podcast.
Oh my god, he is the hottest French guy in the fucking world.
So we are at Motion. It's like 3 a.m. I guess.
Is there
It's important to remember.
going on right now?
It's in the podcast.
Hi podcast, whoever the fuck you are, but yeah.
Well, it's everyone who's listening.
podcast.
The podcast isn't a person. People are listening
No.
to this. So
How
you're
do I know what a
broadcasting.
podcast is?
So the podcast is.
I'm from the 19th century, my darling. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so we got
Where we got you?
we got a sarcastic person.
I'm very sarcastic. Have you not chosen?
I have noticed. It's a good thing.
Oh, are you having a good night? You having a good night?
I'm blessed,
Yeah? No, did you expect it to be like this, or what do you reckon? Because I thought it was going to be like a bit of, not a flop, but like, I didn't really understand it, because Boiler Room is, I thought it was going to be crap, because Boiler Room has just evolved, as I said before, because you know about the fucking origin of Boiler Room. Like, it's a rich white boy at the end of the day. Behind a lot of things, it's just some little rich white boy that got daddy's money and was like, I want to be a cool guy. I don't want to go to Oxford and study this. I want to be cool and down with like all the other poor people and like rinse their money. So
I like white boys as long as they're cool white boys and not stuck up on their own asses kind of white boys.
Lovely. I agree.
That's the thing.
Agreed.
So, I mean, white boys, black boys, Asian boys, tan boys, any boys, any kind of boy is alright for me.
Very nice.
Except
she
from
was just in a 4-year relationship, so she's now sampling
I'm gonna go down to some French ting.
Okay. Come out.
Fit as fuck.
Just go to the front. Ooh, stay at the front. Try and go stay at the front, so if I go in, I'll see you. Yeah, sorry about that. I knew it was going to go that way, but like I was like, if you wanted to.
No, exactly. No, you may as well. It's real. It's real.
It's very real.
Exactly. I don't need to edit that shit out.
Oh, she's funny.
Yeah, she seems it. She seems it.
Yeah, she's cool. Because when I started uni.
Sorry, we're just talking about Esther's friend here.
Oh yeah, Phoebe. She's my best mate, and we met when I started uni in Bristol, and you go round like not orientation, what do you call it? You know, when like you're like breaking the ice.
Yep.
So they always make you say something about yourself.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just want to do blah, 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 something boring and like generic. And she was like, well, I'm this person and I'm this and I'm that and I'm the other. And I remember thinking in my head like, mate, she's terrifying. Don't get along with her.
Yeah, she's wild.
And then like a couple months later, I never really said anything to her. Because she used to have this like really like bitchy stare. So I was like, shit, she don't like me. She's bitchy. Yeah. And then one day she was like, come for lunch with me. And I was like,
whoa.
Okay. We met for lunch and we started hanging out a little bit after that, and then I realised just how much of like how all of that pretty much was a fucking front.
Of course.
And like it's funny because she's always kind of scared of me, and I find that really funny.
She is,
like,
you can tell.
She fucking respects me to the core because like I'm there for her when she fucks up. She's there for me when I fuck up, but I rarely fuck up. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but I don't. I do. I got scammed once. It was pretty bad, but then I got the money back. So I learned from my mistake, but I got away with it.
We're similar people.
You know what I mean? I'm one of those people that just always sails through. But
I'm fine, thank you very much.
But no, she's a cool girl, and like she's really musical. She can play the guitar, she plays the piano, she can DJ.
She got on with my mate.
Yeah, she writes lyrics as well, good lyrics, you know, like when your mate's like in a band and like they're kind of shit, and it's just awkward.
I don't really want to tell them
because like you have to support them, but you literally would rather do it literally anything else than be there
than just support them. Yeah, I think you just got to let those dreams die, and you've got to be honest about it. You just got to be like, mate, I don't see where this is going. How much effort are you putting into this?
That's the next thing. What I want to know, with that fact in mind, I want to know, out of all these shit bands who plays their mates, out of all of them, I reckon there's only about 9% of their mates that will be like, you need to fucking nip in the bud, because I've seen people on tour that are shit. I work at the O2, so over the last year I've been to over like 60 gigs probably with work. Probably more actually if you think about it, because I did about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And you see the support, you see fucking one act and the second act and whatever, and some support are shocking.
How's it gonna be?
Shocking, and it's the O2, you know, like it's big deal. And I'm like, how the fuck have they managed to get to this point and be so shit?
Yeah.
Like,
network.
What? But like, this guy was literally like, I think because I can't remember who was headlining.
To make it in the podcast world, by the way, network. I'm just banking on the network to make it through in the podcast world.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, how talented am I? Who the fuck am I to rival Parkinson or anyone like that? But I'm relying on the word of mouth of people to be like, actually, he's a good lad. So yeah, man, just torture him. You know what I mean? Just listen, just subscribe. You know what I mean? Just let it go. So, I'm with you. I completely agree. In terms of like, how do we assess talent? Do we assess it on network? And in certain artistry skills, I agree.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Have you read Lily Allen's autobiography?
Yeah.
So Lily Allen, when I was growing up, she was like my ultimate idol. Like I love her.
Okay.
She did the whole like prom dress with the fucking trainers.
I missed all this.
It was like early, like not naughty, it's a little bit late.
I remember it, but I completely blitzed it from my mind.
But no, like she's got like semi-famous parents. Like
she does. Yeah, I know Lily Allen.
Was in Robin Hood, and he's been in loads of shit, and he had his own like radio show and all this sort of shit back in the day. And her mum's like a film producer or some shit, and like she told about her struggles in the industry, and she said about how she was signed to one label and she tried to move to another label, and they.
Just doing a podcast, lads. Just doing a podcast. Just doing a podcast now. With Esther.
But yeah, she tried to go from one label to another label because the one label she was with, I don't know for whatever reason, like she couldn't create any music with them because they're like you've got to do this, that, and the other. And she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave. And she left. I think this was when she was about like 19 maybe, and they sued her for guess how much? £1 million. Bearing in mind, she had she recorded a couple of songs with them, but they didn't think the songs were good enough, so they just put. You can leave an artist. If you're in a label, you're confined to that label, and if you don't produce the content that they want, instead of releasing you, they'll keep you there. They will just keep you there for maybe future use or for whatever, but won't use your content. So you're stuck. Yeah, man. Like read up on deals and stuff with musicians and this and that, and like it opened my eyes. And like also studying my degree, it opened my eyes because fucking musicians have it hard. And when you see musicians like in these fancy hotels and all these parties this and that, like they're paying for that. They've got to pay that shit back. You know, they don't just get given them because in our eyes they're just like. Oh, they've sold 300,000 copies at £10. All that 3 million went to them. Like, nah, probably like 500 grand went to them. Do you know what I mean? After all the costs and stuff associated with them. Like, it's fucking hard out there, man. And that's why I think it's funny because a lot of people want to be musicians, but I don't think they realise what it is to be a musician. If I was a musician, I'd just sing at weddings. Easy money.
It's karaoke.
Karaoke, easy money, you know. Or like, learn to be a DJ, get paid 250 quid for like a fucking hour set.
That's the best gig ever. I did that. I did a bit of student radio in my final year, and then they were like, do you want to do a year 11 disco? And I was like, yeah, fucking sweet, I'll do that. And turned out 250 quid. Played top 40 hits off Spotify.
That's fucking cool.
That's the gig. That's the dream, huh?
Innit?
And I was like, right, okay, so is that? Can I make a living from this? And now I'm like, maybe I can. So this is what I'm trying to pursue, I guess, with this podcast. It's like, well, actually, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, you've got to find different avenues at the end of the day.
You do.
Like, this is what we were talking about earlier.
What's valuable to people?
Exactly. You don't have to fit the mould that society created for us. We don't have to be that person. We don't have to do that shit job just because to get you that where you want to be.
Society changes
and like, year
on year as well.
The thing about success is once you become successful in the monetary value, you're always chasing for more. So like my dad was like a locum anaesthetist, and like in terms of pay, I remember once the year he got paid the most was $250,000, which is mental money. But then what his mistake was that he went to further invest it, this when I was really, really young, in a pharmaceutical company, and then it went bust and it fucking completely rinsed him. So this is the thing, it's got to be managed. You've got to you've got to actually think to yourself, what would be your success?
Exactly. What would be
am
I doing this for?
You know? Yeah. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, exactly. Why
am I doing it for money? Am I doing it for this, for that, and the other? Because
exactly. If it's for money, that's fine, but acknowledge the fact it's for money. Like that's the only thing. It's like, well, It's the same. It's what I struggle with. It's like, well, why am I doing this? Like, keep coming back to that question. And then, because otherwise, when that gets overridden by money, if you were in it for passion, if it gets overridden by money, then you've got to question yourself. If you're in it for money, then go for it. Just go for money, like, because that's shallow enough that that's going to fail eventually.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
exactly. Or you're just going to like hate yourself.
Exactly. Whereas like things like Facebook, you're in it for more than money, and then now money's a thing. Keeping the engine going, you're like, well, turn the engine off because the engine isn't fucking good anymore. You're just running it off money. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I think. I just do things on passion as opposed to money, because I find money funny now. I literally laugh at it. Like, it's awful to say. It's fucking awful to say, because I know it's
money isn't like money, or money isn't like the concept of money.
The concept of money.
Well, obviously, like, laughing at a pound.
It's laughable. Huh?
I don't get it though. I read this fact the other day that we're like something like the world's like $60 billion fucking dollars in debt, and I was like, but how? I don't understand. And I don't want to understand.
Infinite amounts of debt.
I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I don't really.
It's worthwhile getting. Just to like have
it feels
that
like a brain scramble. Like it feels like my brain just scrambled. It's just confusing.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's what keeps the system going. Because people don't want to think about the system.
I mean, I do think about the system.
Of course, everyone does.
I do think about it, but then like
up to a point.
Yeah.
And then you're like, my brain's scrambled. And you're like, well, no, actually, just let's keep with it. So you're like, oh, fuck this. Like,
well, to be fair, like if I'd have seen that article after I'd finished my assignments, I might have actually opened it. But at the moment, all I care about is just finishing these assignments. And maybe later I'll have an eye for something else.
No
and, like,
doubt.
Start researching shit. But now,
correct.
Couldn't give a flying fuck. Like I am busy.
At 21, I was exactly the same.
Do you know how many words I had to write this year in total? Almost 20,000, mate.
Wow.
Literally next week.
You got to think about them as well.
Yeah,
you got to think about each word.
We're not first year anymore where you can just fart it out. I've got to take time and effort into it because like this is my career. Like I need to learn about this. So going from like where you just need to pass to actually being like, not only do I need to do these assignments, I need to like take this in because I'm actually paying all this money to do this. Like stressful and like my mind is just filled with all these concepts. But as soon as another one is in there, I'm just going to scramble my bloody brain.
Oh, for sure. But it's important. It's important as well. Like,
but no, I will go back to it because it is interesting. It is interesting.
Give it time. What I'm saying is, I only started thinking about this in the last 2 years. So I've had that like space and actual ability to think about it. Because I agreed. Like when I was at uni, I didn't do fucking shit at this. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about going out. I'm thinking about like enjoying my youth.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Get involved.
See that? I feel like I don't do this enough because like I'm an events management student, so I run my own event. I do like this Sound Clash night. It's like BIM versus DBS. You know, like they're the two music unis.
Really, not really.
So like BIM's like anything from guitar, drums to vocals to songwriting to music production to event management to like music management, all that shit. Whereas DBS is specifically for electronic music production and like music tech and that sort of thing, and like very like electronic based.
Nice.
But like they both like BIM also does that, but not like to it. So it's kind of different, but kind of like they're similar but different. And they're the two most like prominent music units. So I thought, I'll do this night where it's like they clash each other.
Oh, nice.
To see like, because there's a bit of like rivalry, like you should have gone DBS or maybe I should go BIM. You know what I mean?
Nice,
so like,
nice.
I've been doing that for a while. And
how's
like,
that gone?
It went. The first one went so well. Like, it was rammed. The second one not as well.
Why
I mean,
not?
it was no one turned up before 12. Like literally nobody. So after 12, there was a flood of people coming through. But like, I mean, it was the first. I had to charge for that because the one before I was like free if you're a student and £2 if you're not. And that night actually made money hilariously. And then this time I was like there was one tier. First tier was £2, and it was £3. There was 4 on the door. But then I think what I'll do to curb that in the future is just free before 11, and like cheaper for students, like half for students than it is for whatever. But like
play with the pricing.
Exactly, but no, it's cool because like I do different things within events. So like I do my own events, and then I'm trying to do stuff for like community events, St. Paul's. Then I do my internship. Have you heard of Wonderfields?
not?
No, it's a festival in South Devon. It's really lovely. One of the best small festivals in the UK, according to The Guardian.
Very nice. Shout out to Westival as well.
Oh yeah, Westival.
Oh yeah, you know it?
Yeah, no, they're having it. It's in Shepton Mallet, isn't it?
Westival, there's probably a few now actually. The Westival I'm talking about is in Wales.
No, they are. What is Westival?
So I think the first one was last year. I loved it. So I just got recommended it.
Because they just like pop up, don't they? Because they have like.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's one of these like white boy fucking. Like,
it doesn't. It doesn't really strike me as that. It seems a little bit more like. It seems a little bit more
organic.
Organic, yeah. It seems a little bit more like grassrooty type.
I agree.
Yeah.
It felt that way certainly. So this one was in like Monrovia in Wales near Tenby.
Okay, yeah.
It's stunning. Yeah, so it's one of these like tiny little independent jobs. It's like maybe 3,000-4,000 people there.
Oh, okay.
£60 for 4 days.
It's pretty good. Jesus.
Pretty damn cheap.
It's pretty fucking cheap.
It's like African disco kind of music. It was sick.
When is it in May?
Vibes. No, it's like last year was in August.
Okay.
This year it's like mid-July.
I feel like I heard of it. I think I was like travelling or something and I couldn't go.
To be fair, I mean it's a very like popular name as well. I guess Westival's actually quite a lot. Certainly anything in the West, they're going to go for Westival.
Yeah, true.
It's a name, so probably like loads of people are just piggybacking on that name potentially.
True.
You were saying about Devon, sorry, I side-rayed you.
No, I was just saying about the sort of things that I do, like, because I'm not really sure what I want to do, so like I'm literally like fucking, because I said before, I don't know if I said it in this podcast, but like I got promoted to a bar manager at festivals after doing one shift as a bar manager, because I work for this recruitment company that supplies festival bars with staff. Cool. And I was working at a festival last year, and my manager on the festival, she was like pretty funny, like she was quite loud, she was a bit rude, but pretty funny, and like we got on pretty well, but like she was just like pretty lazy, and she would just like sit at the till, and I'd be running around sorting out all the customers and stuff, because you know like the manager's got to key it in, but like I was like basically like running around like the bar staff, and basically supervisors just clocked it. And then they pulled me to the side and they were like, basically, we're going to tell your manager that she's been fired and can you replace her as manager? And I was like, it was a bit awkward.
That's fucking sick.
But no, it was awkward. So they were like, oh, don't tell her. I was like, I'm obviously going to tell her because like I'm close enough to her that I'll be like, by the way, you're going to get a bollock in a second.
Yeah.
But like,
you didn't say that, did you?
Well, no, I told her what happened because like they didn't want me to tell her because they wanted. And then they pulled her to the side as well, and I was like, I'm not gonna like not say anything after you've just talked to me because that's just like dark, innit?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, good on you.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, she was shit. Don't get me wrong, she was shit. And like I was running around.
Shit on me.
Exactly. Like, I thought that was quite unprofessional, to be honest.
That isn't.
That wasn't good at all. But so like I got promoted to bar manager, and then I was bar manager. Bearing in mind this was like a juice bar, so it was like selling like soft drinks. So it wasn't even a bar. It was just me and her working, 2 people working. I got promoted there, and then this year I got an email from them like, congratulations, you've now secured the role as a bar manager. And I was like, wait, what? It's because I did 1 shift, 2 shifts, 1.5 shifts with them last year as bar manager. So now I'm a real bar manager. So now I've got to get a fucking what's it called? There's a personal license, and then I'll be like, they're going to train me up to like even like manage up to like 20 fucking bar staff. And like at first I was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds like so much effort. But then like, and I'm like, I want to do events, but it's good to like know other aspects of events because it's important. It's like these are all skills that I have the time to fucking dabble in. So I don't work full time.
And you get respect. You get respect. You get respect from the bar staff who say, actually, I know that job. Like anyone coming through the ranks when you're like top dog or whatever. You know, I've been there. I understand this job. Like, sure, it might have been different 10 years ago, but I still get the principle of what we're doing here. So it's like, well, no, the more experience you build, the better it is. So I mean, at 28, I love Square One. I fucking love Square One. So like, if someone gives me an opportunity to learn something from scratch, I'm there. It's like, well, whether it be a language, whether it be like an industry, whether it be a culture, let's actually get a feel for this, because then I can start to relate more and more to the people, just the people.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So whether that be like it's a great thing about travelling. You kind of get a feel for the culture of the place, and they can go, okay, now I can relate to, let's say, Indians working in Britain.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, the culture you're from is alien to British culture, and yet hats off to you for and they change the culture. They have to, because they're bringing all that culture from their life into like this. Sure, it's going to get diluted and they're going to be more British, but it's going to globalization's a thing. We're going to become a global species.
But no, that's it's interesting that you made that point, because my dad remarried. I want to say when I was maybe I was 13 to a Nigerian woman, and she moved from he went to Nigeria and lived there for a couple of months. It's me and my sister in boarding school, and then he came back with a wife that was about 14 years older than me, and I was like, but fuck, I mean, I was not pleased, obviously, because obviously he was married before then to another woman that raised me for a good portion of my life, that wasn't my mother, so I was, that was his third wife, and I just didn't like her, as understandably, and also because I was fucking 13, but she brought all her culture with her, and then she expected me to be the sort of person that I would be if I was in Africa, which is just a silly way of looking at it. But then I look at her now, she was only then, so that was
straight from there to there.
No, that was 7 years ago. Yeah, so 8 years ago when that was happening. And now I'm 21. And it's that's me in 8 years marrying someone that's way older than me, and then being lumped with 2 kids and having a completely different culture. And I've never had to experience that.
Mother these kids. That's basically what. That's the task of mother these kids.
Yeah, basically.
So, shit. Well, here's how I know how to mother. It's bollocks. That's not how these kids want to be mothered at all.
No.
So it's fascinating.
No, it's interesting.
You're good, Esther. This is a great little pod.
Thanks,
man.
Thanks.
As I say, I mean, we mentioned this before the podcast started, but I think you make a good little podcast host.
Yeah? No, I'd love to, because I was really interested in, because I said before, I was really interested to get that radio start with uni, but it's never really happened. But I'd love to talk about, I can chat shit for days about anything.
That's the main thing.
And everything.
Great.
That's what I do.
Great.
That's what I like to do.
As long as people like that,
exactly.
That's the whole point of the podcast.
Yeah, that's funny because I originally, so I got guest lists to come here tonight, but tickets were sold out, so I couldn't bring anyone with me, and I didn't have a +1, so I was like, shit, and everyone was like, because I wrote on my status, does anyone come into Boiler Room? And everyone was like, no, just go there on your own, it'll be fine, make friends. And mate, I've travelled the world by myself. I've gone to clubs in countries where they don't even fucking speak English. I'm not an idiot. I know I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
But then I was just the issue is when you go somewhere, I hate empty chat. I hate empty chat. And
with it.
I just can't be asked. Just answer the same old questions. Hey, pretty.
I've come around to it a little bit. But yeah,
I like chat. I like decent, interesting conversation. I like to be in a conversation where we can both be the conversation and fucking feel enriched and our brains are fucking sizzling because we've actually talked about actual stuff, Not oh my god, how many pingers have you done? I've done 3. How many have you? I've done 4. Oh my god, really? Wow. There's so much empty chat these days, and I think it's important to talk about.
Engage the brain.
Yeah, because I've already actually had a deep chat, not a deep chat, but a normal conversation. It's not even deep.
A very
That's
good point.
This is a conversation.
Correct.
This is how people converse. We don't need to just I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, just anything above surface level becomes deep, and you're like, really?
It's not, it's a conversation at the end of the day.
We're getting to know each other. That's all this fucking is. People are so averse to conversation. It's crazy though. They can't look at you. They can't fucking they struggle to at all, and it's just fascinating to me. So I'm like, what? Really? Are you that nervous? What are you worried about?
It's important to start a dialogue though.
Of course, it's crucial. Otherwise, you're alone.
And that's something that I'm focusing a lot in with my uni work, because we get given we've got given learning outcomes, whatever. You've got to hit all 3 or whatever. in a roundabout, you've got to do that to get a good grade or whatever. And then you have, for instance, like one of my essay questions was it was about placemaking, gentrification and music tourism and how that related and what its relationship was with live music. And I talked about gentrification obviously as in like rich coming in, people getting displaced, but the general fucking narrative. And then I also started talking about festival gentrification, which is actually a new topic because I didn't see any like published essays, didn't see anything about it. I just like decided, I was like, oh my god, think to yourself though, Boomtown, you've never been to Boomtown?
I know a bit.
But like it's like a raver festival, massive festival by ravers for, I say ravers, but like skagheads, you know, like loads of D&B, blah 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 blah. They have this like hidden area that's you pay an extra 200 and something odd pounds additional to your ticket. So in total you're paying something like almost 600 quid to go and stay in like a different area that's separate to all the other bits. And they've got their own fucking venue. They made a house out of fucking like plywood shit. They've got like disco fucking tiles on the floor. They've got fucking, what's the word for it? Not interpretive, immersive theatre projections there. Their own private bar. Like yurts and all those fucking mansion-esque type things, and I was like, and I just thought, oh no, because I knew of this because I was working Boomtown last year, and like there was like a crew party in that bit before the hunters came, and I was just like, gentrification is happening in events as well, and I thought like, why not just turn my essay on its head, and instead of going through the fucking gentrification, plate smoking, music tourism, blah 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 fucking narrative, I was like, let's talk about something different, something that is affecting people, because like you could say that if it's not sustainable growth, festivals are changing in the way that like its original target market can no longer see themselves within that festival, and then they'll move on. And like I use this term, a swarm of locusts, because there's this geographer guy that like talks about swarms of locusts, like as in like, the way locusts swarm is they go from one place, they all come at once to a place, and then they all go and they all come at once to another place, and it's almost like gentrification. It's like a swarm of locusts, because they'll see, oh, that's new, that's very interesting, that's arty, that's like unique.
That's a nice way to look at it.
We're all gonna come here, and once all that fucking creativity, all that culture is expunged and sapped out, like this isn't cool anymore. What's the next best thing? And they're all fuck off there. So like so my essay, like it was literally so therapeutic for me to write. It was just so interesting.
I'd like to read that. How long is it?
Yeah, well, and it's 3,000 words, but
that's not too bad.
Yeah, do you want, I can send it. Oh, that's not my phone. Wait, where is it? But no, I'll send it to you.
Podcast is still recording, by the way.
Oh no, but I'm not gonna read that. No, I'll send it to you.
No, please. Yeah, well, I could add it to the bio for this.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Like, have a go. Like, I interviewed a lady, because you know when people are ranting on Facebook and like it's just a normal person, but it gets shared. This one was interesting because she was a musician who is in her 60s and had performed very early festivals in like the 80s all the way up to now, and she was having this massive rant about how expensive festivals were becoming, how like it was just like a product of just I think she said something like made by the rich kids for the poor kids, this, that and the other, and rinsing all the poor kids' money to make the rich rich, this, that and the other, and like the fact that how festivals have completely changed. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance and message her and see if she'll do a fucking interview for me. And like, she literally just responded just in time the day before I submitted my essay, so I was able to put her views in there. But like my stance was like, although luxury camping, it to me is a little bit of gentrification, but then at the same time, like, you know, what's it called, well-being areas. So they're being introduced into festivals, but they come at an extra ticket, an extra cost. Okay. And then I was like, so I said that, do you know the term heterotopia? So like Utopia is a place that's not real. It's like dreamlike, and it's like amazing. And festivals are often called Utopia because it's different to normal life. And it's like a dreamlike place, but it's not. A festival is a heterotopia. Heterotopia is a real place or site that differs to the external. So stuff like class, wealth, and something like that gets turned on its head, and we're all equals. We're at a festival. Even if you're a millionaire, even if you're fucking homeless or whatever, we're all the same. And I was just saying about how the inclusion of these things at a price is meaning that suddenly this heterotopia is starting to mirror normal life. And the whole point of festivals is escapism. Like having that time where we're all as one, and we're all there because of shared interests in love, art, culture, music. And if not properly managed, that could change what festivals become. And like, for instance, like if I ever had kids and they go to festivals, I know I'm going to be like, oh, back in my fucking day, because already in my fucking day, shit's changed. Like, I mean, I'm 21 for fuck's sake, and I've seen so much change in the festival industry. And like, that assignment, that was my baby. I loved it. It was so interesting, and I learned so much.
Awesome.
It was really cool.
Sorry, I feel like I cut you off by picking my beer up there.
No.
That's sick. I'd love to read it. So do make sure you share that link.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do it after the end of this podcast.
Yeah, no doubt. That's cool. So how long have you got left on your degree?
I'm in the second year, so I've got a dissertation next year. Kind of did like a little prelude to a dissertation, like a research sort of like essay, and my question is on why is there a lack of female security guards in the industry, and like I just thought like I work in the industry and I'm a female and I have all this indispensable primary research because I could just force everyone to do like an interview or a bloody fill out a bloody questionnaire. So I'm just like exploring gender, exploring sexism.
Wow,
just
interesting.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
the big hard-hitting topics that we're all talking about.
It's not the fact. It's not just the fact that it's because, like, for instance, like I would never have been a security guard because like when I went for an interview, because I was a steward working for a company, a security company in Bristol, and then my manager was like, "Why don't you try and be a security guard?" And I was like, "I can't be a security guard. What the fuck are you on about?" I was like, "No, yes you definitely can. Yes you fucking can." And they were like, "Okay, we're going to pay 2/3 of the cost because it's fucking expensive. It's like almost 400 quid or some shit. It's not cheap, and it only lasts 3 years."
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
so people want to do it.
It's not cheap, but people want to do it because, like, I mean,
it's decent money on the doors.
Well,
I've known a few bouncers. It's not a job that I want to do.
No,
I've never done it.
It's not the best thing, but like I'm kind of lucky in the sense that within my company, I get put on different things, and maybe that's because they know of my events background or whatever. Like I'm really good friends with my manager, and like I'm always on like sometimes in the crowds, like managing crowds, checking for like bottlenecks, and like when there's
the analysing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shit that goes into the events, and like oh god, the worst is when I put on the balcony. Have you ever been to the O2?
No, not in Bristol, no.
Oh no, well like, in Bristol O2 they've got a balcony that can like looks down on like the main bit downstairs, and like sometimes we'll have like rock bands or like indie bands or even fucking Steve Aoki, and they'll fucking mosh pit.
No way.
I'm put there on duty to tell my manager if someone's fallen down and hasn't got back up, and that's the worst fucking job ever because there's about 1,000 people below you jumping around, pushing each other around, and I'm just like, you don't understand how dangerous it is. You've never seen what it looks like from above, and like people are at the front by like the crowd barriers, and they're literally getting slammed against it repeatedly.
Wow.
And like, yeah, man, like it's pretty.
Death zone,
yeah, it's pretty terrifying to watch.
What's the worst injury you've seen? What's the worst injury you've seen from one of those?
Oh my god, my first day as a security guard, my first fucking day. I was on the balcony and it was all fine. And then this woman was like, you need to come. And I was like, what? So I go to the stairs, because there's these like little mini stairs, like about 5-6 steps leading up and into the bar from the balcony. And this guy basically just fell down the stairs and actually landed on his head. And cut open his head, blood everywhere, and I was just there like shaking with my radio, like like didn't even know like radio etiquette or anything like that, but like I was terrified.
Naturally.
But oh god, it was horrible, and it was just so scary, and like it makes you think as well with drinking and going out. It's like I'm so much more well managed with my I mean, I'm not really a drinker. I drink for the taste maybe, but I never drink to get drunk.
That's awesome.
Never.
Well,
so,
congrats.
I mean, I'll get a hangover anyway. Sometimes depends actually, weirdly enough. But it made me realise like how people need to cherish their friends a lot more when they go out. Make sure you always know where they are. Look after them. And don't leave without them. The amount of times people just ditch their mates, and their mates that are drunk as fuck, literally can't even speak, completely like out of it, and they just leave them there because they can't be asked to deal with them. Like, that's crazy. To me, that is actually crazy. Because, like, for instance, like Phoebe, I know she's fine because she's literally like that's like her fourth boy of the night that she's just like chirps in, and like I mean it's a bit annoying sometimes.
No doubt.
Because I think she feels guilty that like she's like getting on this guys, and then she'll come and like hug me and it's like never, and like I don't like being touched when I'm dancing, so I'm just like just get off me, and she's like are you angry with me? Are you angry with me? It's like I'm not angry that you're fucking chatting to guys. I mean, I've got a boyfriend, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not jealous, or I'm not like thinking that like I wish I was you or whatever. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm just like, it's just annoying because she'll be like, oh my god, this guy is so cute, and bless her, she's a beautiful girl, but she has the shittest taste in men. Fuck me. Oh my god.
She's really pretty.
She's gorgeous. She doesn't know her worth. It's not even about looks, but she goes for absolute
yeah, just fucking nothing in the head. Like,
and she's like, Esther,
where's the conscience there? He's got no fucking conscience.
I really want you to meet him. And I always say no. It's just like, I don't want to meet him because like I'm like the mother.
It ain't gonna work.
It's like, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna like him. Full stop. I remember she started seeing this guy, and after a week, he told her that he loved her, and they were already planning a holiday.
Brilliant.
And they weren't even together. And he was like, "Oh, might move to Bristol. You know, maybe let's look at places. We can move into it." And then Phoebe was like, "Oh, like all this stuff's happening, and I really like him, and like he's the best like lad I've ever had. And he's just such an amazing kisser, such an amazing person. Esther, you need to meet him. Because you know like what it is when you meet someone. Like you need your mate to validate whatever it is. Everything she told me. Yeah, everything she told me was alarm bells. I was like, no. I was like, cut that shit out. No. This boy's bad news. I swear down. And what happened? It's fucking bad news. Well, no. It was a couple of weeks later.
Oh, fair play.
No. She'll take a while before she, not even before she realises, but she just was quite like possessive and this and that.
Oh, fair play.
But like, I don't have zero tolerance, but as far as I'm concerned, you've got to not earn my presence. I'm not like a fucking. I'm not an arrogant cunt. I'm just like, I'm not going to waste my time because I know what you're like.
I've seen enough of this bollocks, shallow shit.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for like.
And now we need to get to a conversation.
And the worst is when they're trying to like butter you up to make them look good. I'm just like, mate, we all know that you're in it. You know exactly why you're in it for. And like, to be honest, like girls get so much bad press for wanting, you know, the long-term relationship, the house, etc. You'd be fucking surprised because I think it's even split, to be honest. Because
maybe
I've had that happen to me.
How's it going?
Wait, one sec.
Yeah, it's
we're talking about
important
important subject. It's just come sit.
Feel free to sit.
But no. So but no, the thing about it is women are always shown as being like, we're craving this. But I've had like, because my friends always like laugh and joke that I've actually been with my boyfriend for this long. Because after a while, I've had enough. It's just too much. So I'm just like, people expect so much from some men. Expect so much from women. Like you want us to be your kind of live-in wife. But I don't know.
Agreed.
Like,
It's a weird dichotomy. I completely agree.
Once a guy starts becoming successful, they want to finish the picture.
Correct.
They want to finish the picture, and they see a wife, they see kids, they see all this stuff, and they're just looking at you to fill that role.
Gotcha.
It's weird, man, because like it's half
interesting.
and fucking half. I think it's half and half. To be honest.
I agree. Completely. A relationship is a half and half deal. There's no doubt about it. There's nothing. I completely agree with that. So the gender thing for me does not come into this. Like women are women, men are men. I get that entirely. Is there equality? Of course there's equality. Like of course it's a 50-50 thing. Like who's more powerful? There is no. What are you on about? That doesn't come into this. Like there's no 51-49 with this. It's just
no. I'm not saying.
50-50.
Because it's just because we are. Obviously, we are different, but we are. At the end of the day, we're human. You know.
Exactly.
And. You know, like it's such an old and boring narrative that all we're looking for is a long-term relationship.
100% a spectrum.
Like, I remember I'd get Tinder and I'd be talking to a guy and he'd be like, oh, I'm not looking for anything serious. It's like, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm looking for something serious. Like, what makes you think I'd ever want to have anything serious with you? Like, what, because you're a boy and I'm a girl.
I've been guilty of that. I've been guilty of that thought.
The thing is, like, don't get me wrong.
It's education.
On both sides, it's like that though. On both sides, it's like that. Like, I've been seeing a boy casually. This is like a couple of years ago. Seeing casually for a couple of months. Didn't even live in Bristol at this point. I should drive up to Bristol to see him.
Wow.
Shag him, and go the next day back home, smoke loads of weed with him, hang out with his mates, and then go home. And I did it occasionally for about 4 months. And then I met up with him. We were going to a party, and he was like, yeah, so we've been seeing each other for 4 months, so yeah, I think we're official now, we're together. And he didn't even ask me, he just told me.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, what? You can't,
where's that come from?
You can't do that. What the hell? Yeah, no.
Joint decision, this one?
Yeah, like, don't you think that's something that we should have talked about? And also, didn't you get it from the fact that we haven't actually had sex in about a month and a half, and I'm just coming round to yours to smoke weed and watch TV and go to parties with you? Like,
I like you, mate. Sure, you're a cool guy.
I obviously like hanging out with you. And the weird thing about that was...
so true, man.
Like when I went away travelling...
struggle with that shit though, huh?
No, the thing is, I went away travelling.
struggle with that.
And apparently this guy was egging him on and was like, oh, when Esther comes back to the UK, I'm going to ask her out on a date. And apparently he punched a wall and broke his arm. Bearing in mind, I was in fucking Brazil, like, getting all kinds of attention and not giving a shit. And this guy's like getting so upset over it. And when I came back to Bristol, we just assumed that we were just like, when I came to uni.
This is like marriage now.
Oh no, you're back and we're going to be together again. I was like, oh, definitely fucking not. Definitely not.
It's interesting. Oh, you've opened my eyes tonight.
Huh?
Oh, you've opened my eyes. Are you looking for me?
No, carry on.
That's cool.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, I'm going to try and find Craig and JP.
Yeah, I don't know where Phoenix is.
It's an absolute pleasure.
No, it's been so lovely.
We'll sign off. Well, yeah. I'll grab you your details.
Yeah,
I'll send you this.
Yeah.
Have a listen.
Yeah, no, I will.
And then if you like what you hear, or if you want anything like edited a little bit, just send it me. I'll edit a bit, and then I'll send you the finished one.
Yeah,
and if you like it, then then we'll publish.
Yeah, no, for sure.
As I say, if you wanted to host your own, you'd be a fantastic podcast host. I honestly think so, because I've had a great conversation with you tonight.
No, that's been really good.
Well, cheers, Esther.
I fucking loved it. Nice one.
Right, on. 2 secs. Alright, now I need to figure out 50 minutes.
No way.
Look at that.
Holy shit.
Bankwood Bear Productions.
Cheap and chill.